Hey, this is Kurt the Boat Doctor. Why Marina? Hey, we got one of these left now. This is a Seahawk LE. It's a 2025. So I'm going to do a demo on this. Okay, this compared to the regular Seahawk, there's a couple of things different, but bang for the buck. I think the way this is equipped, you get the 150 standard, you get the hydraulic steer standard. I think you get the one wiper standard on here, and there was a couple options to drive it up, but I think it was just a base one is like 72, I believe. But I think this one had some options to drive it up to about that 79 figure. You'd have to call the salesman, it could be less than that. But I know it's about 15 to 20 grand cheaper than a standard Seahawk. And the key difference is, not that they didn't have these before, but the anchor guard, which isn't that much, you know, you figure at the factory to do that, you know, say, you know, a couple $100, okay? Now the paint, these are vinyl, where the other ones are paint, the Seahawk. So, and I used to believe in the paint, but actually vinyl is a little bit better, is more elastic. So when you hit something, it'll take that, where paint will just scratch, and you don't get that blistering. If you notice, they don't paint all the way up, and they weld that, and they keep it away from the chine, because that's where they used to bubble up, because the paint went all the way down and stuff got underneath the paint and blistered. But then on the 21, they're a 1/4 inch bottom, and these are 190. As far as the V, they're 18 by 42. They're the same bottom width as well. This has the top, it has the sides, it has the backdrop. It's got the good trailer, the easy loader heavy duty with the swing tongue. That's an option. So there's $300-400 for that. So that's probably, so according to a base model of this, these are some of the options. It's got discs on all four, and I think they do have trailer brakes, but I don't think it's just big of a trailer. Top mount coupler, spare tire, and I'm sure that's an option. So you'd have to call Marina and talk to the salesman, but I'm just, to be on the safe side, I'm going to say 79. Where a new 21 Seahawks 95, basically 95 to 100. So there's 80, yeah, there's about 20 grand. So it's got the slick 2x6s on it. So as of right now, you got the difference again would be the diamond plate, the dual wiper. This only has a single wiper. It's got the vinyl versus the paint again. That I'd almost prefer the vinyl. Now they ran these for years. This is just your standard plate back here to get to the lower bolt holes and to the bilge pumps with the twist top. Now the 21 Seahawks, of course, they got like a forged aluminum hatch that goes up there now, which that way I don't believe you can get through an inspection cap. You have to take the whole lid off, but then I think they're just big screws. You just pop it off, but then you got to worry about resealing it sometimes. So again, that's immaterial for the money difference, for that 15-20 grand difference, and that's gas vent. Now in the kicker bracket, I'm sure that was probably an option again on this SLE. It's got transducer brackets. It's got the 150, which is standard. That's a 15 by 15 aluminum prop. This has got the integrated hydraulic steering. The 150 still, you can change your oil right here. You just pull this out right here, and then you go ahead, and on the side you just pull the drain plug out, or your oil filter, put your new oil. So this is something you, after the first, say 20 to 30 hours, you want to take it back for the first time to a dealer to change your oil. After that, you can do it yourself. This makes it easier than taking the side case off, which is, you know, a little bit more labor than this is. This is a lot easier. And that's right here's your speedometer pickup. So if you have a speedometer and it loses it, that's probably plugged, and then you can just take a fine needle and jam in there or blow some air in it. There's your ear muffs for your intake. It's got your freshwater flush as well right here, so you do not start the motor when you use this. Unscrew this, screw your garden hose onto this. This is just a stop. So do not run your motor with that one. But if you had ear muffs, of course you turn the water on, start the motor, of course, then turn off the motor, turn off the water. But if you had one there, you could run that one too, and then you just get quick water flow. And even if you did use that fresh water that's made for moorage, basically, say I had to use it at lakeside, you get all that brackish water, I would still say if you use that in a month, say you used the boat 10 times, I would say maybe every 5 times I'd still use those flushers. That's the good way to do it. Okay, then the ladder, the other one, the Seahawk has a ladder, so there's $400 for that. So that's just part of that 20 grand difference. And this is North River 21 2025. And then they have a rear entry door. Now their rear entry door is nice, but you can't do those upgrades on this LE. Now that's one thing that's kind of nice to have. You do have the chine guides. This is called the cobweb sail. I don't know if you can see the cobweb. So then anyway, we'll jump up in here and you got your cleats. Now the Seahawk comes with the aluminum floor in it. This one doesn't. Now the advantage, I guess, of the vinyl, I mean, these boats came out for years and years and years, and there's still boats out there that have the vinyl floor. I mean, they're pretty damn tough. So again, that would not be a deal breaker for me. I'd rather save the money. Now the other one also has the full two-part fish boxes. He's got like trays and stuff that go into here, but they have the full one. They got a bait one, and they got the full rear cowling fish box. So that's one thing you don't get with this model. Now, and then also the dual batteries you don't get with this one, and it has been sitting, so I got my jumper. I'm gonna fire it up. You got your battery switch, you got plenty of room to put the other battery in it. There's your water separator. I'm just gonna prime it real quick. There you go. Now that separator, you stick with Yamaha. You got a 5-paper element. Change that once a year, no matter what. There's your anchor light. Then here's your fish box. That's pretty deep. You can put some salmon in there, crab in there. So again, back to the rear one. A lot of people just use that for storage anyway. You could put your fish in here, or use kill bags for tuna. Now these got the storage seats. The other one's got the storage seats with the flip bags. Now I prefer not having the flip bags. I'd rather have the bolster cushion, because the problem is that thing you got to flip, and it's kind of an annoyance to me. And then the suspension seats you get with the Seahawk, and these don't. But I'm going to tell you some little secrets here. And 703 control box, you got your USB, same as theirs. Then the wiper. So you start in now sliders, so you can slide the top, and probably got a boot as well, so you can wrap this up and put a boot and lean it forward. That's on that slide, why that's there. So by the time you add, the only major things that I noticed with this boat is lighter, because you don't have those suspension seats, you don't have that aluminum floor to add that extra weight to the boat. All that stuff adds up. This LE actually, I thought, rode better and faster than the standard Seahawk, and I think that's because of the weight issue. So really, the only thing I'd really add to this boat, again, you got to remember, 15 to 20 grand difference between an LE and the standard Seahawks. So the bottom thickness, you're not going to put a hole in this. I mean, you could put a hole in the 1/4 inch bottom, so that doesn't concern me. The anchor guard doesn't really, because a lot of boats don't have that, and it's just a selling feature. You know, a lot of people say, I don't care if it has it or not, and I'm one of those. I would add a wiper. That's not very costly. I would add another battery to this, which isn't a lot of money, and I'd add that wash down hose. So the only thing that I would say would be the rear entry door, that, and maybe a ladder. So those are the things I would add. So even if you took all that, took the ladder, you took the wiper, you took the wash down, you took that the dual batteries and put in here. The rest of the stuff is immaterial. The seats, you'll find out you really don't need them in this boat. It just doesn't hit as hard. So you're talking, just to add that, you got a damn good boat. I mean, so you could add all that stuff. I'm just gonna high side it, less than $5 grand. So say there's still $15,000 to $10,000 difference in the pricing. So I mean, this is you know, and if someday you wanted to later on add a couple of suspension seats in here, but again, the metal floor don't mean squat to me. You get a little bit bigger fish box. Again, that doesn't bother me too bad because I could take one of these out and put coolers in them. The only thing, like I say, I would add is that dual batteries, the wash down, the extra wiper, and the ladder. And there was one other thing, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So I could, at this price, what they could probably sell it to you for, I could put you like a 12-inch display up here, sonar, say GPS, I could throw radar on here, the dual range, a VHF 215 on here, maybe a CL5 gauge on here, a kicker motor on here, and that'd still be cheaper than just the stock 21 Seahawk. So you buy that 21 Seahawk for $95 to $100, then you start adding like electronics. Now you're up to $105,000 to $110,000. See, so this you could probably get with the stuff I just